African Film and Music Award, also known as AFMA, established in 2015, is one of Africa's strongest awards for performing art. It is an annual presentation honoring the achievements of film and music practitioners such as actors, actresses, musicians in the African film and music industry who are given the accolades that they deserve. In the second half of 2022, the African Film and Music Award ceremony will host a breathtaking show to be attended by African artists and actors in the film and music industry. Joining us right now to talk about the award is its co-founder, Sylvia Ebegwei. She leads Afma's international operations with the responsibility of overseeing Afma's ongoing expansion efforts. She's based in the UK. ODOGWU currently co-runs the Plantation Boys group alongside Oyemi Nats Nathaniel. Good to have you both in the studio. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you. All right, so tell us, this is another award that is meant, of course, to celebrate the best of African art, but of course, specifically music and movies. Why is this going to London, and what is new, what is fresh about this award? I read part of what you put out there is that you're not just creating an award, but that you are trying to create magic. What magic will this new award bring to Nigerians and Nigerians in the diaspora? Tell us about it.
Okay, so that's a good question. Now, when you think about how the entertainment industry, especially the music and as well as the film industry in Nigeria has exploded. So, and when you also explore and find out if there's an award show to match that, there's very little there for you to find out. So this is the reason we decided that we are going to find something, we are going to do something to match that, something that they can be proud of, something that they can use to actually celebrate their hard work here in the UK. So the reason why we're starting from the UK is simply because London is the birthplace of Afma. So we decided to start from London first, then later on we'll host the events in different areas in Africa.
When we look at 2021, indeed 2020, we know that the COVID-19 pandemic had a lot of effect, especially on entertainment. It feels as though entertainment took such a huge hit in terms of people not being able to consume entertainment how they usually would. Even in 2021, you've got award shows the likes of the Grammys, all of these different ones that are happening under completely different circumstances, open air, far less people. What type of restrictions, if any, had you experienced putting this event together in a post-pandemic world?
One thing to put into consideration will be the COVID restrictions. So hosting this event would have to follow the guidelines. Okay, so take for example, if it's a 2,000 capacity thereabouts, and maybe we may decide to do it like a 1,000 instead, just to ensure that we keep to the COVID restrictions. So it's a live show. It's not going to be online, but it is a live show.
Do you have a date in mind already? You said second half of 2022, and do you have a venue that people should begin to look forward to in London where this will happen?
Yes, we do have dates sometime in June, okay, but we haven't provided a specific date. But the month of June is the month that we've decided to host the event.
Lovely. OG, we'd like to bring you in here. I know you've been patiently waiting for us to come to you there. As we said in our introduction, we know that you currently co-run the Plantation Boys group. Can you tell us about that group and how that plays into this awards show?
Okay, basically, the company is Plantation Entertainment. Entertainment. I used to be part of the Plantation Boys management. That's two-phase, blackface and phase. So, yeah, basically that's why people think, okay, when you hear Plantation Entertainment, they tag it to Plantation Boys because it used to be the management back in the day. Yeah, basically, the award is coming through with a lot of differences. We're trying to celebrate Africans in Africa and outside Africa. You know, any Africans doing beautifully internationally, doing beautiful over here. You know, that's what we're trying to celebrate this time. And like she said, like what Sylvia said earlier on, if you look at it, there's no award to match the excellence that the artists and the film industry is giving us right now. Nigeria is everywhere. Right now in the US, you have Nigerian artists shutting down shows. Whiskey is there, David is there, Rema. You go online, you see everybody. It's big. It's massive right now. So we're trying to do an award show that's going to match what's going on right now out there. You know, so that's actually what you can see. That's it right here. You can see the difference. You know, so that's basically what we're trying to do.
All right, OG, but I know, I mean, I'm aware that a lot of people might want to take you up on your claims as to, which of course Sylvia also mentioned, that, you know, maybe we do not have something that matches the energy, the vibrancy of what is happening now. But you know, of course, that for the film industry, there is the Afma Awards, African Movie Academy Awards, which will have its 17th edition this year. On the music side, there is the Afrima, All Africa Music Awards, and even headies, you know, by the owners of Hip TV, for example. Even in the UK, where, you know, Afma will have its a maiden edition, you know that for almost 20 years, the old Afro-Hollywood Awards by Mike Abiola and Golda John, you know, was quite popular in those days. Of course, it transformed to, I think, African Film Festival at the time. So we can't really say that in the last, if you like, 20, 25 years of the boom of Nollywood and Nigerian music, that we have not had platforms to celebrate them. What may be important to know from you guys is, how will yours be different from those ones that have been there and are still there, celebrating the same, you know, industry?
Beautiful. I'm not trying to shut down what other people are doing. Watch, just keep follow up and watch this award, and decide for yourself.
Short and sweet.
Just watch and decide for yourself. You see, that'll probably explain what I'm talking about better to you when you see the award itself proper. Just watch out.
And just to add to that, one thing I would say is, it's the African Film and Music Awards. So it's two things in one night. This has never been done before. So it's something different, something unique as well.
Thank you very much for talking about film. That's actually where I was going to go with my next question, Sylvia. When we look at Nigeria's film industry, in terms of output, I think, you know, by some measurements, we would be the likes of Bollywood.
Absolutely.
I definitely would think in terms of output, because Nollywood, we do churn out a lot of films.
Yeah.
However, over the years, there seemed to be a feeling that traditional Nollywood films don't serve a wider audience, and not just in terms of language barriers, but in terms of production quality. So when you look at your award and the fact that the two of you speak so highly about it, and you are, you know, it's highly anticipated from your end, are there entry requirements? Are there certain lengths or durations, language barriers that would categorize these different films? How do you plan to organize how these awards would be presented to your committee, if there is one, and how that process of making sure a film ticks whatever boxes and then would be, I guess, put in the running for winning the award? How is that organization going to look like?
Okay. One thing I would say is, for film submissions, as an example, I would suggest that everyone should actually look at the website and look at the guidelines. And one of the guidelines is, if your movie isn't in English language, at least there should be subtitles. Okay? So that's one of the guidelines that we've put in place. And another thing I would also say is that when it comes to the music, at least the music should have been released a year prior to the events. So 2022, it means your music must have been out since 2021. So these are the guidelines, and it's available on the website. And even if they decide to give us a call and find out for more information, they can always do that as well.
Okay, Sylvia. But are you working with known names in terms of what your jury looks like, or the panel of adjudicators? A lot of people tend to put value on what you do when they know those who are behind it. How will winners and nominees and winners be selected? For example, who are the big names that we should expect? Will determine who wins what and who gets what during the award ceremony.
Let me answer that. We have that already. I don't want to mention names. We have musicians on board. We have actors on board. We have movie directors. We have film directors on board. We have lots of them. So we like to have like a 12-man team that's going to decide that. Yeah. People you see every day, but I can't mention names right now.
How are you planning to pay for this? I know that with the coming of huge award ceremonies like this, even though you're not handing out cash prizes, you're handing out awards, they do run, certain operational costs, certain overhead costs. How are you financing this major awards show?
Okay, we do have our sponsors. Okay, and we also have corporate sponsors as well as individual sponsors as well. So these are the things that are helping to finance the event.
So the award ceremony will have Nigerian-based movie people and film and music people competing with those in the diaspora, or will there be a different category for those in the diaspora? And do you have an idea of how many categories you have that people can enter? I know, yes, people will get a lot of information from your website, but in terms of publicity, the opportunity, the platform that you have now, how many categories, and then how will you sync the part of the diaspora, those who are based there, and the bulk of the works that you will be examining from Nigeria?
So we do, at the moment, we do have 30 categories.
30.
Okay. And we're not just looking at people in diaspora and as well as Nigeria, but we're looking at the whole of Africa, the whole 54 countries in Africa. So now, in terms of selecting and choosing the best of the best, so it's just left for people to then decide to actually submit their works to be considered for an award. So our judges can then, decide on who is going to be the best person for an award. So we're not just focusing on Nigeria alone or people in diaspora, but the whole of Africa.
Okay, I mean that's a good one then, because it's for the whole of the continent. But you see, again, Nigeria, there's a lot of content that comes from Nigeria. But these days you will see from many of the big stars that are making it, there is a kind of movement, from the diaspora back to the continent. Your Tiwa Savage, your Beverly Naya, to an extent D'banj, even Naira Marley, all based, in the UK, but return here to make it big. Your own personal assessment, and I'm saying this, to your good self and to Oji, what will be your focus therefore, and what's your reading of the fact that it looks like, because things are happening on the continent, there is a movement from the diaspora, from the UK, from America, from Canada, back here in terms of talent, returning home to be big at home. Is that part of what you will be celebrating too?
Oh, yes, certainly. And we're also going to be celebrating collaborations. So because you mentioned Naira Marley, and he's done a collaboration with someone from South Africa as well. So this is something that we want to see more of. that we have maybe Nigerians collaborating with people from Madagascar or people from the Congo. So it's just, and you have even in Nollywood as well. So we want to see more collaborations or, you know, actors from different parts of Africa, you know, actually, you know, doing movies with Nigerians, not just with Nigerians, but collaboration. So, you know, we're one Africa. So it's just a situation whereby everyone comes together to produce something that we can all be proud of.
I can imagine, you know, not even to, I guess, put a battery in the back of xenophobic reactions, but sometimes when we talk about including all of Africa, it's a lot more easier said than done. If we look at projects like, for example, Beyonce's last project, I don't know why the name fails me now all of a sudden. She focused specifically, it was the Lion King project. The Lion King, okay, she focused specifically on African talent. Yeah. And even though that was a beautiful body of work, some of the criticism off the back of that was that it only focused on West African, predominantly Nigerian artists and music sounds and South Africans, and then you had no North or East African representation. How do you seek to make sure that criticisms like that aren't something that will follow your award show?
Basically, the entertainment industry is much larger than that right now. I think the music, it speaks for itself. If you go to New York, for example, now you're in New York, you jump in the car, before you get to where you're going to, you probably hear Davido on radio like 10 times, or Wizkid, or Thames, or some East African or South African artist. You know, when we say West, East, the music is universal now. Africa is everywhere. You know, so you go online now, you see Naira Marley shutting down, it's showing South Africa. You see an AKA shutting down the show in the UK. You see Wizkid shutting down shows everywhere. It's bigger than that. It's much larger than that right now.
Thank you very much for joining us.